Heyo all, this is Corey Duvall here tonight. It's actually 10:20 p.m. First time I'm going to be reading this for myself. And looks like we are going to be having an update. I'm not exactly sure what time or what day the patch is going to go through, but this patch is going to be considered 2.0.1. Oh, you already know the 25th?
The 5th.
The 5th.
It
Okay.
says so when you go to play the game.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. When you start up the patch, you'll see it right there when you start up the game. But so what we got is update 2.0.1. This is gonna be my first time reading it myself, so bear with me on how I'm actually reading everything and if it's going well or not. Alright, so update 2.0.1 preview. Hi everyone, I'm excited to bring you the update news for next week's patch. Well, it's actually basically 2 days from now. Update 2.0.1 introduces the Elite Dungeon system. These dungeons will have 10 difficulty levels, simply entitled Elite 1 through Elite 10. Each difficulty will increase the challenge of the dungeon as well as the loot that can be gained. We will have more information about Elite Dungeons early next week. In addition to Elite Dungeons, we have also implemented many changes aimed at new players' monetization, loot rewards, and the Patron system. We have been reading feedback you have been giving us in-game, on Reddit, Discord, and across social media. This patch will address problem areas players encounter in-game. This is the first of many. The team is committed to delivering an amazing online experience to all of you. Patron changes. We are improving Patron benefits for you. The first major change you will notice is that you will receive double the amount of AP and SP from experience earned. This won't double AP nor SP from special events, compensation rewards, nor direct purchases. Additionally, marks of favor patrons receive from challenges will be increased by 20%, allowing you to earn up to 12,000 marks of favor each day through challenges. Finally, patrons can now teleport for free in addition to being able to anima leap for free. Dungeon loot changes. You said you don't feel rewarded when opening dungeon drops, so we are changing how loot works. When you are in a story dungeon, crates will now have a greatly increased chance to reward extraordinary talismans and weapons instead of distillates. Elite dungeon crates will reward both a normal piece of loot and a distillate. Oh, cool, that's nice. Rare crates now have a significantly increased chance to spawn after a boss is killed. Rare crates and elite crates both award a distillate and an extraordinary item. Also, dungeons will now award XP at the end of each run. The final mission report has an XP reward to help get your progress toward the next level. We are also introducing the first dungeon of the day system that always awards an extraordinary weapon or talisman. Feedback changes. We are also making some changes to improve the quality of life of our players. We are increasing the base inventory size of all characters from 25 to 35. Yeah, that's awesome. And anybody that bought more inventory, hopefully they'll maybe give them some stuff back for that. This will be retroactive, so your inventory will be 10 larger than whatever it was before the patch. Oh, that's okay, that makes more sense. You won't get anything back. The price for Sprint 2 and your first weapon unlock will be drastically decreased after the patch. We want a new player to be able to buy Sprint 2 and a new weapon page their first day. We are also merging the purchase of active and passive pages for weapons. You will unlock both of them at the same time for the price that a single page would have cost. For players that have half of a weapon unlocked, you will automatically receive the corresponding active or passive page. So you have to buy those things separately. That's crazy. For those of you that already reached level 50, we are increasing the rate that you gain AP SP. It was definitely too slow and grindy. In addition, we are removing the mark of favor cost for attaching glyphs and signets. That's actually a really good idea. That's really grindy to get that stuff. We hope you love these changes. Thanks again, Scott. And here's some of the actual updates on the patch highlights that we're going to actually see in the game. Introduced Phase 1 of the Elite Dungeon system. Adjusted the loot table for chests in story dungeons to provide a higher chance of receiving an item over a distillate, roughly 50-50 split. Significantly increased the rate that rare chests will spawn in story dungeons. Rare chests in story dungeons will now give both a distillate and extraordinary item. Players will receive a guaranteed extraordinary item for the first dungeon they complete each day. Added glyphs to scenario chests and increase the signet drop rate in layer chests. Added XP and repeatable dungeon missions. So that's pretty cool. And then we got general highlights. Increase the base inventory size to 35. Reduce the cost of sprint 2 to 2,500 marks to the favor. That's pretty good. It used to be 10,000. Quicken Anima has been renamed the sprint upgrade. That's great. They had to change it because nobody was using it properly. Like, how do I get my sprint? How do I get my sprint? Alright, so we got unlocking a weapon's active or passive page will now unlock the other page for free. We know that. The price of the first weapon unlock has been reduced to 5,000 marks. That's pretty good. Increase the rate at which players gain AP and SP at level 50, so no go for anything under level 50. Attaching glyphs and signets no longer costs marks to the favor. And we have Patron highlights. Patrons will now receive 1 bonus AP whenever they gain AP through XP. Players will now receive 1 bonus SP whenever they gain SP through XP. Patrons now receive 20% more marks of favor from challenges. Teleporting no longer requires anima shards for patrons. All players can now initiate a trade with any other player as long as they are either a patron or have reached level 15. That's a good thing. You don't want to make it too early because then you'll have a bunch of what do you call it? Real life transactions, or RT people, RLT, right? Yeah. Or no, RMT, real money transactions. That's right. And okay, so then we have some other general patch notes. Players who have completed achievements The Buzz or The Unseen in the Secret World now see these under Eternal Echoes. Little Lion, Trippy Wisp, the Loyal Hound may now be deleted or consumed even when the pet is already owned. This addresses an issue where these items got stuck for legacy players who transferred these pets from the Secret World. Added surgical gloves, blue and surgical gloves, white to the Agartha achievement vendor. I'm guessing it's supposed to say added surgical gloves, blue and white surgical gloves to the Agartha achievement vendor. Made all the achievement vendor clothing items auto consume on purchase. Added the snowball toss, Nasir's groovy gun, and shoes of synchronicity to the Gartha achievement vendor. It is no longer possible to meet up into the mining museum basement. Updated a number of interaction. I'm not even sure. Meet up in a mining museum basement. Not sure exactly what that is. Updated a number of interaction UIs to more accurately represent what the player is doing. Adjusted the distribution of rewards for layer missions. Trainers now interrupt themselves when the player picks up the phone. Fix an issue that could cause the mouse cursor to disappear during character creation. You can now search for weapons on the auction based on their attachment, energy, restoration, etc. Change the visuals on the ability bar so that the potion and gadget icons are clear. Updated the shotgun weapon UI. Oh man, a lot of stuff to read here. Resurrection Joe and that. I'm not Tsathat. Lord of Mucus, or Mucus, have had their level and power adjusted to intended values. The vampire ability field transfusion will now root instead of stun to allow some counterplay. That's pretty good. Resolved an issue with some first DOTs, which is, oh my god, damage over time. How did I almost forget that? Such a brain fart. Overriding each other. Reload animations for shotgun should now always display your shotgun when playing. Fix a case where the Sanguine Wendigo could vaporize before the chase had finished during the mission, which I just had done today in my last stream. That was pretty funny. We had to reach up the Wendigo's butt just to get the book. Rolls downhill. Added a fallback for cases where the Sanguine Wendigo is invulnerable during the final fight of Rolls Downhill. See, now technically ours vaporized and then made it up to the top and reappeared as an invulnerable Wendigo and was still able to grab the book. We just had to kind of reach under there. Fix the waypoint to enter the sewers being wrong during Tier 5 of Dawning of the Endless Night. That's crazy. I didn't have that happen to me. The mission giver for the Tyler Freedom chain now properly appears on the main map. The cult leader now provides mission updates in an area instead of only to those who hit him during they never stop coming. Okay. The phone now displays the full conversation for English players during the mission Black Sun, Red Sand. Dying to Carter's prom night. Dying to Carter's prom night now provides a helpful reminder about the war during Carter Unleashed. The first pumpkin patch should no longer have invisible wisp during Jack's back. The same headlamp is now used for all missions requiring one. Fix the case where it was possible to become stuck after crashing out of the instance end of the game for endgame, and same thing for instance total eclipse. Alright, so then we have the dressing room. A number of texture and seam issues with various pieces of clothing have been fixed. A number of t-shirts that had their graphics being cut off have been fixed. Kind of like me with my glasses today. How my glasses literally went up into my eyebrows. That was kind of weird in one of my cutscenes. Fix an issue where that was actually happening in TSW also, so that's something they never fixed in TSW. Fix an issue where some versions of the Sick Kicks sneakers were not visible in the dressing room. Fixed another issue, some cat's ears were messed up, and some icy claws were not visible for players who transferred them from Secret World. Some military barrettes were not visible during dressing room. Extra Life t-shirts, using the wrong mesh for male characters. Extra Life t-shirt blue should now be correct thumbnail for each gender. Some more thumbnail stuff, thumbnail stuff. Army combat cap, filthy, is now visible in dressing room. Fix an issue where kimono blue with gray was not working properly for Illuminati characters. The Unity Core Templar Alpha is now properly restricted to Templar characters. That was crazy. So some other people had that one. Like the Loomies and the Drags. Leather wrist wraps are now listed in the hands category. Yeah, I see they had some undercover agents. Double agent. Tube bras are now visible in the dressing room. Added pinstripe suit pants and color variants to the dressing room, and added a bunch of other dressing room stuff. So if you just read right there, no, I'm gonna read it. Combat headset should now appear in the correct clothing category. Lace cameo choker should now appear in the correct clothing category for female dragon characters. Drop earrings should now appear in the correct clothing category for female dragon characters. Open leather jackets should now be viewable in the dressing room. Let's just say these are all going to be viewable in the dressing room. Fiery Nightmare Mask, Unicorn's Visage, Creepy Equine Mask, Creepy Zebra Mask, Machine Helmet, and Surgical Gloves should all now be visible in the dressing room, because I was not going to read all that over again, just like that. So basically, a lot of issues are being covered. There's definitely still a lot of issues that do need to be covered. But for the most part, the main issues I'm having with the game, as of right now, is honestly my own internet. I haven't really seen too much other than, some thumbnails being messed up, not being the correct thumbnail for when you're changing your character's stuff. I'm trying to think what else. The Wendigo thing. There's a couple glitches that are going to be in the game. But it really feels like they're moving forward with the game compared to The Secret World. The amount of effort that they put in The Secret World for the past, I'd say, like year and a half, 2 years, is not even close to what they're putting into this. I'm really happy to see that. Maybe even eventually we might see maybe even a new engine at some point, because you can't keep going on with this engine, I don't believe, forever. At least maybe some newer texture packs at some point. I know all this is kind of newer texture packs to begin with, but I foresee within the next couple of years them updating all that too. You'll be able to play this game as is on a just a regular chip, integrated graphics on your CPU at some point. I could see that happening within the next, I'd say, 2 to 3 years, because the game itself, with the engine it has, came out back in 2012. So we'll see how it all plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing what else it has to offer. I'm going to be streaming all the time with different parts of the game that I play, and I hope you guys enjoy. And always remember, be mindful of the voices,
For they corrupt.
for they speak the truth. Alright, have a good one all.